What's up, y'all? Reggie here, another video for the You-Topian project. With this one, let's talk about climate. Now, of course, I believe everything that the media and the scientists that the media covers. I believe everything that they say. I just want to state that, right? It's a four-way stop. Anyway, I believe everything that I see on the news and graphics, illustrations, and science, what the science that is shown by the media. Now, of course, there's a certain political ilk that likes to, that is usually, biased and supported by the media. And when it comes to certain things, this being one of them. So, all right, one of my concerns, shall we say, that I've been mentioning when I have certain conversations is this electric car, et cetera, stuff. So you have an administration and crony scientists getting together, et cetera, and you have a president that says, in some country, I mean, not talking about America, of course, but in some country, some president says that we're gonna have whatever, 50% of cars produced by some certain year, 2030 or something, be electric. And then you got states in some countries, or particular states, saying they're gonna outlaw or do away with or whatever by such and such year. But here's the thing. Have you ever seen any supporting analysis, empirical data, study, et cetera, as to the feasibility of these things happening by these years? Like how, it's like they just pick a year, that sounds good, let's just throw that out there. Okay, this is what we're gonna do now. And if you don't go along with it, you better believe you're gonna be, your well's gonna be poisoned. You're gonna be, if you criticize it, your well is poisoned. You're a conspiracy theorist. You're this, you're that. You don't support. How can you be so heartless and you don't support saving the planet and all this, that, and the third? Meanwhile, you got one of these states says the same thing, and then literally like the next day says, hey, couldn't you not charge your electric cars so much? Can you not do this, that, and the third? Because the power grid can't handle it. We're gonna have rolling brownouts, blackouts, et cetera. Also, I'm calling this, what's gonna happen as these things are moved more and more towards. We're gonna need X amount of billions, if not trillions. There's gonna be this, that, and the third bill, which it's already happening, right? Part of the pork in many bills lately and quote unquote infrastructure is related to this stuff. But in the future, it's gonna be, well, we're just gonna need to spend X amount of billions or trillions of dollars to rebuild pretty much everybody's power grid, infrastructure, et cetera. And if you don't go along with that, if you don't support it, then again, you just don't support saving the planet and this, that, and the third, et cetera. And again, nobody wants to have debates with any scientists that oppose them, which is quite telling. But anyway, it's just a concern of mine for some of y'all countries out there. Not America, not my country, of course. I mean, we know what we're doing over here. And our current administration has everything on point. Everything is well planned and taken care of, and that's all y'all need to worry about. But some of you other countries out there, y'all really need to, it starts with you. It's You-Topia, inside, here and here and everywhere else, right? So, but yeah, it's just funny to me that there's no, we have all these calls to action and no presenting of analysis of data or consideration to stop things like what's going on in a certain state, in a certain country, on the west side of a certain country, on the western coast of a certain country. You think that's not going to be happening all over the place? And then you're going to be suffering. You're not going to be able to do this, that, and the third. And every time the media covers it, the emotional response is going to be higher and higher and higher. And it's going to be more of the Hegelian dialectic. They already have the solution. And people will be begging for that solution. Please take more from me and us to give us what we really need. Save us. We need the government to save us. Etc., etc. So, anyway, I just wanted to put that out there because I'm concerned for a lot of y'all other countries and states out there. Don't want to see y'all, don't want to see y'all suffering going down that road, all right? So, but my main point making this video is that these people come up, the intelligentsia, the supposed authority that you can't criticize because you're not smart enough to criticize it. They come up with these things and these terms, these different problems that need to be solved the only way that they know and want to. And if you don't go along with it, you're 1, 2, 3, ABC, 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 blah. Conspiracy theorists and everything else negative. But there's no presentation of data. It's just that this is the date. You know it needs to happen. And this is the date we picked. Go along with it. No study. Because once you put a study out there, people can analyze the study. And many of us know that, as has been in the past, which we'll talk about in other videos, even when it comes to this topic, there's a lot of bias and bullcrap. And there's other studies that don't get covered by the media, that don't get covered by these people, these companies, these administrations, et cetera, et cetera. That's a lie by omission. A lie by any other name is still a lie. Sets up false narratives, logical fallacy, deflections, et cetera, which are lies by other names. But anyway, again, I'm stressing the fact that there's seldom, really never that I can remember, any presentation of any analysis of data, empirical data or study being done on the feasibility of these goals and these claims when it comes to these, outlawing a whole modality of transportation and whatnot. Anyway, that's the main point for this video. And also the main point is that because, again, they can't, because they haven't done it. And when they do try to do it, it's so full of crap they don't really want to cover it. The media don't want to cover it because it shows the nonsense and the faulty configuration of said supposed analysis. So they just skip it all together and just shove it down your throats and use the media and the machine to make it be true, even though, as far as you know, it has all truth behind it. But as long as the media and the machine can keep repeating it long enough, then it must be true. So anyway, before we hit 10 minutes, peace, love, and light. See y'all in the next video.